believe we all know him, and if we don't, trust me, he's a very, very exciting guest, and we're going to know more about him and his journey in tech. So maybe he's a tech guru, and I really, really want you to introduce yourself to our audience. So the floor is all yours.
Actually, there kwa Tech Guru, very exciting. Okay. Unachocha zingine ni mingi sana, but yeah, my name is Akwabi Paul. I'm the Executive Director at Tech Kidz Africa, which is a technology academy and the innovation hub for children, teenagers who are curious to come up with innovation. In short, I am a technology therapist. Children who are curious come up with innovation using technology.
Okay. So when we talk about Tech Kidz Africa, we think or we see this big organization and this big company that is doing big things, that is making impact in the society in Kenya and beyond. And we just want to understand where this journey came from, because as the founder, I believe there's a place or there's a time you had a dream. And so we'd want to know, where did it come from? What is that one time you started off like, one day I'll have this company? Or was it like an abracadabra thing and then voila, the kids became tech kids?
Yeah, I think, you see, I would like to just say the truth. I think it was abracadabra. Uh, but maybe yes, maybe no. The thing is, you see, when you're growing up and you just feel like you're part of a big thing that you don't know what it is all about. That aspect whereby even within your neighborhood, all the kids usually come to play at your home, yet you are the poorest of the neighborhood. Actually, this is true because we didn't have even a television, but our neighbors had. But they used to come to our place for us to give them more stories about the
Or you are an orafam.
yeah, whatever it is, something come here. So yeah, so okay, maybe just I quantify about the journey about Tech Kidz Africa, um, and this came strongly when I was undergoing a personal development and counseling session when there's a point when I was to give out the story of my life. Though it was part of the ideas I had thought, I had an array of ideas because that time I had hit a rock bottom and I didn't know what to do with my life next after that. So I came to understand that there is one thing that is so dear to me, which is when I was the age of 11 years, I blocked my aunt's phone out of just curiosity. I used to just like opening electronic devices just randomly, and I used to be punished thoroughly, of course, for that. And after blocking my aunt's phone, of course, I was also punished. It was part of an array of different punishments that I got. Then, 10 years later, when I was just the age of 21 years, I came up with an innovation on the mobile platform, and yet it's the mobile phone that was being punished about before. But again, funny thing about even all that, when I came up with it, I was in campus within my second year, and I became the best student, or the best, it was the best innovation in all universities and colleges. So for me, it marked something. I felt my journey had been delayed. Now, to add on top of that, I met some investors from Norway who introduced me to a 9-year-old kid who was so good in technology and that he really loved technology. He was called Riden, Sondre Riden, yes, Sondre Riden. So he was so good and loved technology. Then I was like, wait a minute. At the age of 11 myself, I wasn't really knowing even what I wanted to be in real life. So from then, I learned that in first world countries, They've been coming up with different innovations, or kids usually go for boot camps during holidays and learn technology. So I started wishing that one day, since I never went through that, one day I'm able to create a platform of kids coming together and coming up with different innovations. So basically, I was waiting for the right time because then I was doing a totally different thing. I was into software consulting. I used to develop just mobile apps, websites, and all that.
Okay, so when you're talking about yes, creating software, websites, and all that, and also I've had a lot of young age in your story, 11, 19,
Yeah.
21, and you find that most young people wonder when and how to start, especially in tech, because probably some of us or some young people out there think, okay, I'll need to finish a school, then go for an attachment at a tech firm,
Yeah.
and so on. But I've heard from you what you were saying. You were talking about being 21 years and starting to develop all these things. So, to a young person out there, how would you be able to help them understand what it takes to be in a space where, yes, you're in school, but you're not looking at yourself as a student, you're looking at yourself as an innovator and a problem solver?
Um, okay. I'm trying to look at that question in different angles, but okay. Basically, you get that when you're in school, we usually different kind of kids. There are kids who love school and who want to explore more. There are kids who are average, they're just there because, of course, they've been sent there and they're not resisting, they just want to follow rules. And the kids who are there, but they're questioning so much and thinking that even school is wasting of time.
Time.
And apparently, those kids who question a lot are among the brightest students, are among the current people who are doing a lot of things or amazing things within the streets. And I was among those kind of kids or learners in school who used to question almost everything and anything that is coming up. Now, this goes way uh, ahead, whereby also parents are able to participate into the curiosity of learners, what they would like to be, what they like playing with. Because you get that even growing up, when you wanted to join either acting, music, and all that, parents will tell you focus on education, the rest of the things will come later. To some point, most of the people who are even great today, it's because they had to do it without their parents' knowledge for them, for it to make sense today in their livelihoods. But again, I'm coming back to today, the current world and where we are even going. You see, technology is like part and parcel. Whatever your child would like to be it a farmer, be it because they'll need to use smart farm devices to come up with better production in terms of crops, be it medical industry, they're going to use a lot of technology in even doing different research and development, or just generally in everything to do with the medical industry, anything that a child would like to be in future. And again, this is a slogan that I've been keeping on saying, and I think today this is like the third time I'm saying that the current world illiterate people are not those who cannot read and write, but those who are ignorant about using technology tools to come up with innovation or to make their work easy just generally in their entire lifestyle. So for learners and innovation, it's just all about how are you embracing technology, how are you familiarizing yourself with that particular environment, because the environments have just shifted. Our environment when we were playing hide and seek was the natural environment. You could hide behind the tree, in different halls, different buildings. Right now, the playground is technology. So since technology is the playground, you get that we're having a lot of computer games. That's where we're playing on. So we just need to study our environment much better. And so when we're studying the environment, it's all about infrastructure. It's all about understanding this device that is called a computer, this device that is a phone. This phone has so many sensors that if you just research it well, there's a lot that you're able to come up with in terms of even measuring pressure, measuring distance, speed, and so many other things. But again, we underutilize most of the things within our environments. And from a student perspective, from a learner perspective, there's a lot that they're able to explore even in that particular area. Yeah.
So I saw something some time back. I think it was a short video, reel or TikTok, I can't really remember. And someone, I think they were a software developer, because there's junior and then there's senior, and so on and so forth. And the person was saying they're just there for a very short time, and then they'd like to venture into something else. And their reason was, first of all, the environment or the industry is a bit saturated, and among other reasons. So, is that actually true as someone who is in the space? And if that's true or not, depending on your answer, how do we move to the next stage?
What I can say is technology industry can never be saturated. Why? You see, they usually call information technology. Yeah? There's a reason why it's called information technology, because it heavily relies on the rest of the other sectors on information for its existence. Information technology cannot exist on its own. It can only exist when there is a sector or an information to be relied on. For example, in the hospitality industry, in agriculture industry, in medical industry, there has to be a sector, there has to be an industry for it to actually to thrive in. So what happens is the biggest problem that we are having, it's part of our, I think, either mean and cultural mistakes we've been doing, whereby even you get somebody starts selling groundnuts in one place, then another one comes next to that person and sells groundnuts. We have seen that even with people who are selling mandazis, mahamri. So if one person is selling mandazis and is doing well, is taking his kids to school and all that, everybody feels like everybody should be selling mandazi. But you see, we just, if we contextualize everything to mandazi, which means that we are using the, what do we call it? The wheat flour. Wheat flour can come up with so many other different products. So if somebody is selling mandazi, another person can sell chapati, another person can sell a different thing that comes up from wheat, if all of us have to come up with different products using wheat. That's the same thing with technology. So the saturation is all about, there are people who jump into only one sector or one focus area, and mostly they look at very light job to be done, and that's where you get a lot of people saturation. And majorly in these, you get that data clerks and data entry people. So many people have learned technology, but in a basic way. So they want to be data clerks. So when you come to jobs like data entry, you'll get so many people. Yes, they know. And we used to do this after high school. Almost actually everybody used to be doing computer packages. So computer packages is not really technology that anyone should say they want to be employed about. We are past that time actually right now. So we need to now look at what is the in-depth. Computer packages, those are mostly generally basics that everyone needs right now just to know. Now, we need now a bit of critical thinking now. You need to learn a bit of coding, you need to learn a bit of AI, just going with the trend. Then you need to be now sector specific and have some adaptability, because the future where we are going to is more focusing more on adaptability rather than just your primary course or skill that you had before. Yeah.
Okay. When you're talking about that, I think this is an add-on.
Yeah.
And this is just an opinion I have, especially with someone feeling that something is saturated.
Yeah.
Because I believe there's a time that tech was the in thing. Like, okay, it's still the in thing,
Yeah.
but I think there was a time it was the creme de la creme
Yeah.
that if you've done IT, everyone is looking for you and so on and so forth. And I think that is what made people do that because I think they were like, hey, each job is gonna gaps and everything.
Yeah.
And then now people get into it. Maybe they didn't even have the passion again, curiosity. And I think when you say that, I'm like, yeah, that's where curiosity comes in. Because if you're not curious enough, you'll not read enough, you'll not equip yourself enough, and you won't be skilled enough to venture into all these other umbrellas in tech.
Yeah. And actually, you see, basically, you see, when tech was the in thing before, so many people who had done anything to do with technology, their work was even very simple as somebody just connecting a projector. Hey, Akwabi to IT at connecting a projector. And it's a big deal about connecting projector.
You do.
The internet is slow, so what
And
do we
then
do?
wanataja majina kubwa kubwa.
Yes.
HDMI, mimi najua
HDMI,
HDMI ni
sijui
nini?
router, ping sijui your network ikoaje. So you get that people now thought technology is all about handling technology devices. But that one is becoming a norm and a basic need on a daily basis. So you get that basically those people who haven't really gone deeper in technology and they've done IT, which I've seen. Somebody has done IT for the past for 4 years at the university, graduated, but they've never even developed any website. They even don't know how to develop any system. It's part of the coursework. But what do they do for them to be able to come
But the
out?
teacher, the lecturer did not teach.
No, the lecturer usually teaches, but of course, so basic. That is okay. That cuts across so many universities, especially in Kenya. Very few lecturers are good, few. But there are some who are good. They can teach you something to do with the systems. But again, the rest of the work has to go to you back as a student because you're the one who has a lot of time, again, there to do so many research and come up with something. But you get that we have a lot of misplaced priorities even when we are in campus. Some of the same students pay people out here or other students there to do for them projects so that they're able to graduate. So it is part of the course outline to be able to come up with a system. But most of them don't come up with it, they pay their counterparts to do. Then now when they face the real world, they get that they cannot fit into the world, they cannot reintegrate in between. So you get that now you start relying with, you'll start complaining or blaming your uncles who are not looking, connecting you with jobs and other people because anytime you meet with any person who's in the IT industry, you just think that they'll have to connect you. And mostly, I've met so many people telling me that, no, I don't know that, how to build any system, but I am ready to learn. But there's no organization that is ready to start teaching you what you're supposed to have learned in school. Especially in technology, we tend to look for somebody who already has done something so that we grow that person or build that person from that part of that point. Because if they never learned when they were starting, they still had time to do that, then it becomes difficult and actually almost like a baggage or it's just a lot for an organization to start making you understand even how to build a simple thing as a website. Yeah.
Yeah, you said that, and I think I have a tech joke. Can I share? And I think this is so smart of me. Yeah, so probably they don't know how to use Scratch, so they have to start from scratch.
Let me clap for you, that. Okay, I know, of course, there are people who don't understand, who have not, of course, understood. Scratch is a beginner level programming language that anybody who like to start has to start with it So basically, it's yeah, yeah. You start from scratch using Scratch. Yeah,
That's like a poem thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we have to. Yes, thank you.
Let's give you a for that.
So yeah.
There's another joke. This is a bit deeper, maybe for people who know how to code program, which is usually goes. If it's working, don't touch
Don't
it.
touch it.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had that from
And this is simply
developers.
because when you're developing in the line of codes, at some point you can do a mistake that will make things work, and but you don't know why they're working. So when things are working, you just leave them that way. Don't start looking at where the mistake or the right thing is. Meanwhile, just run the system the way it is. Till it breaks down, that's when you start looking for
where what happened.
yes, and this is because at times it's so cumbersome to look for where the mistake is. Yeah, that's what causes a lot of sleepless nights. Yeah, but again, I think in our next episodes, we need to be also looking at the easier ways maybe technology is able to be handled. And again, technology is one of the areas we have a lot of quirks.
Really?
A lot of quirks. As much as people are learning tech, we have a lot of quirks around why. You see, somebody has learned how to develop a website without a background of IT in specific or any software. Then you get that they don't know even the journey how we ever came to developing a website. You see, when you're developing a website, you need to know even the structure of software. You need to know we are having event-driven programming, we have object-oriented programming. Those are a bit deeper, and how did we land into this particular level? So those are some of the things that we are having, which is okay sometimes for them, but again, technology still needs a lot of people who can be able to quantify or build up from the foundation level, somebody to understand why are we doing what we're doing. Even for AI itself, how do we learn on AI? Is it magic in the computer, or how is it? So this is something, AI is something that has been built just on top of, from the first computer to be developed, that is on machine learning. When we were starting to do on saving of information from punched cards, actually we started from way back, information being saved from punched cards. Then it developed slowly into the circuit boards, all that up to where we are right now. But again, we'll give that journey, I think, next time, if you allow that. Is yes.
Okay. Yeah, when you talked about people being quiet, I have to say this, and someone building a website
Yeah.
for you, I happen to I happen to have had an interaction with someone of the sort who tulikubaliana tu vizuri kutengeneza website. And he was like, yeah. And he charged quite a good amount of, an affordable amount of money for a website, for the kind of website I wanted. And then the website comes and I'm like, no, change this to this. And then he's like, no, that one can't be changed. And I'm like, but this is not what I wanted. He's like, no, that can't be changed. Why? No, because it can't be changed. And I'm like, wow, that's a quack.
Yeah. So, okay.
Then I had to, then I go to another person who's very good in it, and he actually charged me twice for him to even correct the mess that had been done before. And I was like, okay, now this is becoming expensive.
Yeah. So basically, that's paying for your ignorance. But again, you see, it's because developing of the websites, we are having free templates online, and anyone is able to buy the templates, or even free. We have free templates, so you just edit. So what the first person did to you was just charging you for your ignorance, of course, and this one, the other one, you're also paying for your ignorance still on top of that. Because when you download free templates, you cannot change much on that, and especially if you're at work, that is, you have just learned basic. So there is a basic static, you're able to do that. Though I'm trying to get a better word than work because, yeah, there are things that can work anyway if you don't want to change much, especially if the website is just static and not really dynamic. There's a lot that is just okay the way it is and it's fine. Because also the templates are there because it's like for something like this just to make you start, go or be online in the cheapest way possible. But now, when now you want maybe actual work to be done, you need now somebody who's at least more experienced, who knows how to interact with the code. Because even with the templates, there's a way still you're able to navigate and give the website the aesthetics of the touch, the user interface that needs to be given. And that's why we have front-end developers and back-end developers. Yeah, you get that, and we have full stack. Full stack means that you can design, you can develop, and you can just do everything about maybe a web system. You see, a website, first of all, is a very light, like platform in just in an online setup or platform still. So you get that. Now, what it does is what makes it more dynamic. Now, that's where now the systems come in, the databases, how they're designed, because databases have to be designed that way as well for them, for now, and the security behind all that. And it takes a lot, it takes quite a lot. It's not really like magic. You really need to have understood it, take a lot of your time, you know, to get all the structures, algorithm, in doing that, understanding even when you're keeping your data, you need primary key, which is your primary key. You need to know, especially on the databases, because on the primary key, that's when you create relationships on the databases. So when you're creating those relationships, it's a bit complex that anyone needs just to be able to take time for them to understand. And if you jump just to people because you want a cheaper thing, it's a bit complex. But right now, also with the existence of the likes of AI, there's a lot that you're able to learn, even extensively. There are also free courses that will not make you work, but still you have the same skill sets. Yeah.
Okay, so now with the changes in trends, and of course tech will be there moving forward.
Yeah.
And looking at from what I'm trying to build up on what you had said before, that you were curious at age of 9. That's what you can where you can remember.
Yeah.
And by the it took you time to go to another country to actually see that hey, people are learning as early as 9 years, as early as 9 years, and people are doing boot camps. Now, they're getting skills, right?
Yeah.
So, for a parent out there or a guardian out there who feels, Tech Kids says they're a tech company academy that teaches children between the age of
4 years.
4 years to 18.
Yes.
Sasa mtoto wangu wa 4 years
Mm-hmm.
atakuja kufanya nini? Why 4?
Actually, between 4 to 6 years, that is called foundational learning. So a lot of kids learn by image and touch. So there's a lot of block programming they learn through Lego, that's on the physical, before they go to now play, because they also learn a lot on play, and just visual all through, and different sensors. So depending on also how you're bringing up your child, and maybe the schools or kindergarten you take them to, yeah, it's you see we are building on top of also what you built your child on. You get that they'll be able to also grasp, because what we are doing is also on a self-paced learning, whereby your child will be as fast as how you have also trained them from when they are at home. Though our courses are within age brackets 4 to 6 years, then we have 7 to 9 years, then we have 10 to 13, then 14 to 16, 17, and 18. Now we tend to focus on also employability skills because they're almost finishing up and we're looking for something that can integrate even when they go to the college or campuses. Yeah.
So why is it important to start early?
The reason why it's important now, coding generally builds a very strong cognitive aspect of critical thinking to any child. And I think when growing, that is something that you need to make a lot of critical thinking on problem solving and logical thinking just as a kid. So it assists the child to be able to understand, especially in school, perform well on subjects like mathematics and anything to do with the sciences. And once you've set the pace with the kid at that particular level, there's a lot of things that they're able now to reason from a logic point of view. For example, when we're doing tinkering with them, they tend to understand when you switch on and off the light, they tend to understand how the circuits work. Because that one is something they've learned from 4 or 5 years in the classroom. So when you're switching on and off light, the kid already in mind knows there is a cable or wire connected there to where the bulb is. But how we grew up, we were just like, you're even wondering how that switch is switching this on and off. It looks like magic. There's nothing, there's no thought process that is embedded with that. So when you go even with the child, maybe at the mall, and they can see the gates opening automatically, like there's a time a 6-year-old kid was asking me, teacher, which sensor is that? I had carried them in the car. Because we reached at the entrance and the gates opened automatically. And they felt like there must be a sensor because they've been learning about sensors. That is a more critical and thinking, knowledge skill that if a child grows up with it, they're able to fit into the future where the world is going and even give them a leverage in being innovators because already they're equipped with a lot of information to come up with a solution in a critical situation. Yes.
Okay, in the interest of time, I'm going to ask two more questions. One would be
But I hope mnaniget.
tumekuget vizuri sana. With the years that you've been in tech, of course, with Tech Kidz Africa as a company, and even way before that, what would you say are the attributes or things that anyone needs to thrive as a tech student, as a tech person, or to thrive in the tech industry? What are some of those attributes that someone needs, at least to stand ground in the tech industry?
Okay, what people need to try in tech. I think tech is one of the areas whereby anyone can be good in tech. Anyone. Biggest attribute you need to be good in tech is patience. For me, patience comes before passion. Yes. Because there are a lot of things that might not really go the way you wanted to. There's a lot of research, there's a lot of back and forth in pushing if you really want to be good. So patience first, then passion. And for me, I think those are the two biggest attributes anyone needs when they would like to be good in tech. The rest of the other things, I think, once you have these two, they will just align.
Okay, nice. So I have random quick fire questions here with me.
Quick fire, okay.
to to hit up the conversation as we close. And they're very simple. It's a this or that. So if I ask, what do I ask? Coffee or tea, you choose whatever you want.
I can take coffee while waiting for tea.
Yeah, that one you can. That one I'm sure you can. But okay, let's do this. So early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Early bird. Okay, city life or countryside?
Countryside.
Okay. So phone call or text?
Text.
But you're always on your phone.
Yes. Be- When you see me on call, it's because I can't avoid. Yeah.
Okay, so um, comedy or stick or action? That's movies. Really.
Action.
Action.
Yes.
Okay.
Vita kidogo.
Because you are
Nini,
a,
nini.
oh, unaweza jichekesha.
Kujichekesha niachie.
So, uh, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Books or podcasts?
Books.
Books.
Yes.
Eh, we seem to our audio, Nini.
No, 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 no. I,
Okay.
I have a short concentration
Uh,
span in especially listening, not unless you have a lot of hooks, catchy
so you
words,
have
twists and turns, then
uh,
we're good to go.
okay, okay, fine. Okay. Lastly, sneakers or formal shoes? I know that. Don't be. We have seen it.
Yay!
Sneakers and formal shoes.
Sneakers.
Okay, so that has been our time. That today, this is our first episode of the Tech Kidz Africa podcast. We were just building on the foundation of tech, what you need, what are some of the questions or some of the things that people struggle with when they're starting in tech, and of course, why it's important to start early. So we're going to have these and more episodes coming your way every week with our executive director here and even most of our team members and even more guests. So always stay tuned to Tech Kids Africa. Follow us on all our social media handles. That is on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on X, and also on YouTube at Tech Kids Africa. My name has been Diana Wambui. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the support, and yeah, looking forward for more of this. Bye.
Bye. Subscribe. That is Tech Kids Africa. And also our social media handles. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Yes. Thank you. Bye.